Llona is a prime example of somebody that's at his core is very true to himself. They came to me initially that we spoke about it, and the deal was very expensive for me to do. And shout out Dafe, Mide, they worked. They shot a bunch of really dope content. They had a story and they stuck to it, and they proved a bunch of people wrong, including myself. Not saying that I didn't know the music was gonna work. I just thought it was expensive. It was like half of the price that they asked me for. I would have done it with no question. At a time when it was Yahoo Boys and your rich uncle or some guy that just wants to put money into music, those times are far in between now. There's no such thing as free money. A lot of people don't understand that. They don't understand that it's when a record label, when they take that, give you that investment, they're going to make you sign the paperwork. And that paperwork is what's going to determine what that trade-off is.
Are we making back this money?
I can tell you there's a majority of it that doesn't make over 10,000. My name is Lanre Marsha, and I just spoke my truth on Afrobeats Intelligence.
Afrobeats Intelligence, presented by OkayAfrica.
Democratizing African music with Joey Akan.
It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. So, I've known you for a long time.
10 years now. Almost.
Yeah, nearly 10 years. Yeah. And I think the first time I met you, it's nearly 10 years.
Okay.
I think I've known you since 2014.
Yeah, around then.
Around then. First time I met you, you were what were you at Trace?
So I wasn't at Trace in 2014. I think I got to Trace in 2015.
Yeah.
But when I was at Trace, when I first got to Trace, I was marketing something. It was some low-level entry thing I was doing.
Yeah. And before you actively began to work with the industry, what was your idea of the space that we're in?
Man, that was a tough one because when I first got into, so I came managing Blink. That was like my first leg in of sort into the industry.
Yeah.
And at that time I knew nothing. I knew what I knew, but I knew nothing of this market. And I had to learn everything from even Alaba market, how they operate, how things move, how music move across Nigeria. So the simple answer is I didn't have enough data on the industry, and I had to become a student.
And what did you learn while studying the game?
That a lot of things are smoke and mirrors. Everything is packaging, and like consistency can get you far, especially when you're doing the right thing.
Okay, but the concept of the right thing in the music industry, that forever changes. I remember when I joined the game,
You was at Pulse,
it was
right.
Yeah, I joined Pulse in 2013.
Yeah.
I joined Pulse in 2012.
Okay.
But I moved to Lagos in
That's
2013.
actually where I met you first, actually. Ajibota, he was doing Ajibota 22.
Yeah.
And we did a campaign to get people to listen.
Yeah.
And give it feedback.
That was a long time ago.
I just remember now.
And what it meant to do the right thing in the industry has changed over time.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, it was the right thing to pirate your music.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the way. That was the Alaba market way.
Yeah.
Actually, essentially, to go there to pirate your music. If you was popping, they give you money.
Yeah.
If it wasn't popping, you had to pay them.
But even online, it was the way Nigeria moved music digitally was to pirate it. We had OkayAfrica. We had not just Okay, Jaguda, too exclusive back then.
Man, those tags used to be annoying.
There's some certain spaces I go into,
yeah,
and I still hear this. I still hear those tags,
yeah,
and on certain records.
yeah.
But then, how do you track what is the right thing to do in a space that has seen a lot of movement?
So I'll answer that from my own career goals. Doing the right thing is, I think, for me, is things that kept my name clean was always the right thing from a career standpoint, like just music industry. Now, I think from an artist, I think that changed, like you said, right? It's what does that look like today? What was that back then? What was the right thing to do back then? One of the things I'll say, let me give a good example. At that time, I think it was the year of Like to Party.
Yeah.
Started to take off.
Yep.
And I think the right thing and the brave thing is to be different and to be courageous about being different. And I think that's what Burner did back then. And that's what's led him to where he is now. I think. I don't know if that answers the question a little bit.
So think of it in this way.
Mm-hmm.
In 2012, to be an Afrobeats artist, in 2012, then it wasn't even Afrobeats.
Yeah.
Nigerian music. We're just hustling.
Everybody. I don't think it became Afrobeats per se until like 2015.
Yeah, 2015.
Yeah, when it was coined that.
Yeah, when they coined it.
Yeah.
But to do the right thing then meant in the way you navigated the space.
Mm-hmm.
You have a record.
Yeah.
You
promoted the record.
You're promoting the record. But promotion means you are giving your music to Alaba for nothing. DJs. You're also taking the music out you're putting it digitally for everybody to have access to at no cost to you. Mm-hmm. And the money you're expecting is, if you become a star,
you get booked for shows.
Yeah. A lot has changed since then.
Yeah.
So you, on a certain level, were part of that industry.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And now we're in an age where the right thing now is to shoot a lot of content.
Yeah, do some TikTok.
Exactly. So for you, navigating the space, how do you know what the right thing is?
What, today?
No,
or
like
just in general.
Just seeing it change over time.
Yeah,
what do you know what the right thing is?
You are right. I think it varied in each era, each decade. I think the one thing that I know, right, from an artist standpoint, is you have to stay true to who you are in whatever era it is, right? Whatever medium that you communicating your message, you have to try to stay as true to yourself as possible. And I think that in this content era, you have to find a way to stay true. True. Also, right? Yeah. Back then, it was you had to go to Alabama, you had to promote, you had to try to get people to pay attention to you, however way you do it, and a lot of people did a lot of weird things back then. True. I remember an artist that faked his death.
Yeah, that was Skibby.
around
yeah,
that
Skibby
time.
did.
Yeah, around that time as well. So I think and would you say that's the right thing or the wrong thing, right?
Yeah,
that's a moral question.
I thought it was the wrong thing then. Yeah. And I still think it's the wrong thing.
Yeah. I mean, some people, that's why I say you have to stay true to you, because for him, he probably didn't think it was the wrong thing. He just thought, if I did this, they will pay attention to me, and this is what would happen.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Skibby is a Nigerian music artist. He, in 2014, was it 2014 or 2015? I got to pull this right. Skibby had a situation where he faked his death. He was signed to 5 Star Music.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I remember what happened.
Yeah, it was he was signed to KC and E Money, 5 Star Music. Mm-hmm. And he made us all think he was dead. And then he came back from the dead and nobody cared. Yeah, he later went on years later to have a number of hits. Yeah. But that particular stunt of faking his death did not work.
I mean, he still had a career, so did it not work?
It didn't work. The music worked later.
Yeah, later, fair.
Yeah, but that stunt did not translate.
Yeah.
And now, in this day and age, knowing with the work that you do, what is the right thing for you?
What's the right thing to do today? I think it's, especially today, like as we sitting here today, what is it, March 8th?
Yeah.
2025?
I think it's March 6th.
March 6th, okay. March 6th, 2025, I think the most important thing you have to do is really hone your craft and speak truth to your music.
Yeah.
In a way, and find a way to sound different from everybody else. Because the formula is starting to cast. Like the formula that everybody's starting to do, or everything is starting to do. Because when we having conversation about African music globally right now, they saying everybody sounds the same. Everything sounds like is the exact same thing. So I think the people that are honing their craft and finding a way to craft their voice in their own unique way are the ones that are going to win. Right? Are the ones that are going to win, because if you look at it, there's so many Afro Adura that you can get. There's so many. I don't even know how you want to break it down, but all of everything sounds similar.
Yeah.
If you listen to radio, if you listen to even go in your charts,
yeah.
If you listen to the top 50 charts on all these charts that's been that's there, it pretty much sounds like the same sound mostly, right? And every once in a while you see something cut through that's different, and I think the right thing to do right now is to really try to find a way to find a unique voice that's different from, and not try to follow any kind of formula that's been laid on the ground, and just be an artist, a true artist.
You work as director of West Africa for Orchard.
Yes.
Orchard is the distribution arm of Sony. And everyone would admit that you're the money guy.
That's what they think.
But you're the, when people come to you before people will come to you with a business proposal.
Yeah.
I know the artistry has to be on point, but they'll also baked into that proposal would be, hey, I'm trying to climb with my art, but I also have found a route to making this make money. Even those who haven't found the path to making money, they would also say, I think this is unique enough to generate money.
So revenue, yeah.
And how does that perspective of staying true to yourself, when you think of making music within the context of where you're making it, the era that you're making it, how do those two things not clash?
So when you say era, you're saying that an era in today's time, in Nigeria,
in Lagos, the zeitgeist in Nigeria,
how everything is. I mean, it's a difficult thing, right? It's a difficult thing, especially knowing what the market is like currently, right? It's a difficult thing to kind of state. But I'll give you an example of an artist that came on my radar January last year, Llona.
Yeah.
Llona is a prime example of somebody that's at his core is very true to himself.
True. He's been on the podcast.
He poured his heart.
He's been on the podcast.
Yeah. He poured his heart out in this project, right? And they came to me initially that we spoke about it, and the deal was very expensive for me to do. And I told him, look, man, I really love this music, but it's just too expensive. There's no history for this, but the one thing I commend them and the team. And shout out Dafe and what's the name? Batman, Mide. Those guys, they worked. They figured it out. They went to go get. They shot a bunch of really dope content. They had a story and they stuck to it, and they proved a bunch of people wrong, including myself, right? Because not saying that they proved me. Not saying that I didn't know the music was going to work. I just thought it was expensive. at when they was trying to get the deal done, right? Because I heard the music, and as soon as they played me the music, I think I listened to for almost 4 weeks straight, and I was like, man, this kid is incredible.
Yeah.
Right. But it was just a little bit too expensive. It was like half of the price that they asked me for. I would have done it with no question. So that's an example of somebody that stayed true to themselves and they figured it out, right? Because if you look at any of these, the matrix of success in Nigeria today, you arguably say he's not on any of them.
Yeah.
Right.
It's almost as if he doesn't
exist.
Charting a new path.
Yeah, but if you went to his show in December, you cannot tell me that guy is not successful.
True.
Right? Because every 600 or 700 people that was there, word for word, every song.
Yeah.
To me, that's success. Right? And if you look at his album streams and see where it is, it's consistent across the board on every song. Right? And I think he's built a foundation that he can propel off and kind of build from. And I think a lot of people want to get to the top quickly, and they come up with formulas and tricks to get there. And a lot of times they actually have nothing. Right? And again, it's still smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
The thing about music in itself, so when you mention smoke and mirrors, I think about a lot of the things we have. I think about the industry and the way that it is.
Yeah.
And how the focus has always been, hey, find any way you can to the money. Afrobeats to the world created numerous outlets for that.
Yeah.
Social media and the rise of technology and how it intersected with creativity created numerous outlets for that. And then the music is invented, the story behind it, even though there are touch points that intersect reality of the creator, but a lot of it is still contrived. A lot of the messaging is still contrived. Now we're having the reception being contrived too. They're inventing reception.
Yeah.
They're inventing reception. We're seeing numbers that aren't numbers.
That are not.
Numbers.
Yeah, man. That worries me though. That really worries me because I'll tell you why. Okay. Personally, I think that the perception of that being how success is the path to success makes it almost make it believable that anybody can do music and anybody can get it from 0 to top 100 on the charts easily because they can manipulate one or two things. But what tends to happen is, one, that work ethic that requires you, even for the next level when it happens, because when you get there, so now what? Right? Now what? You have the number one hits. You've now gotten a deal. Now you have to get in these rooms and you have to show. You have to go perform on these stages and you have to show. But there's nothing, there's no meat to back it up. And I think what tends to happen is when you get there, that high that you get to is actually more dangerous when you don't have anything to hold it up, when you're all the way up there, right? Because when it comes down, you're going to be trying to figure it out and trying to chase it, right? Because people are expecting you. When you get there, they're gonna know that you're not the person that you're supposed to be, or that they're looking at. And when those deals start to go bad, I mean, you can hustle it, but two things that's happening, which is happening to our industry as a whole now, is I think they're starting to become but hey, what's going on with these Afrobeats guys? Right, that's the conversation. Like,
that's going on now.
It's not loud enough yet, but there's rumbles about it. Like, are we sure we want to do this deal? Does this make sense for us? You get, and when that's to happen, that starts to affect the whole industry as a whole, and eventually there's going to be a less flow of cash that's going to happen in the industry, right? If you're not able to deliver on the numbers, because we have to think about it. If 80% of the revenue that's coming in, which is roughly around it is, the revenue is coming from the outside in, when that market starts to reject what they seen because you've gotten there by false pretense, and they listen to the music and like, this is trash, right? Because they're going to call it for what it is when they get there.
Yeah.
Right? Then the money flow starts to shorten. Then the whole industry is going to suffer, right? So us that's enabling in the industry, we creating a cancer that is going to kill us if we don't kill it, which is the industry.
But how can you kill something that appears to work?
Does it really work? Actually, like look at it and just say that in the last 2 years of it, right? In the invention of these tactics, look at all the artists that's come through there.
It's been hard to make superstars.
Huh?
It's been hard for the market to make superstars.
Right? Just look at it. Look at it and see what's going on there, right? And there is some superstars that's come out last year. That's in the last couple of years that are like incredibly gifted people, right? And it's almost hard for them to cut through that. You get?
Yeah, I get you.
And I think that's, to me, that's to the detriment of the industry, right? And I think at a point, we as an industry have to at least start saying, hey, but no, yes, but no, this cannot be the case, right? And we have to advocate for when we actually see real talent that we actually voice and speak about it. And because if we let those charts become the only determining factor of what we deem as good, then we've actually given up our voices.
Yeah. So I'm curious about the intersection between talent and what is being invested in.
Yep.
So, take for example, you have to lead an entity that has to be profitable.
100%.
In this market. Orchard has to be profitable in this market. And you're in a market that's inundated with all of these practices where numbers are not really numbers. In a market that's rife with a lot of like underhand tactics and manipulation. Yeah. How do you know what's real without being on the road? How do you know what's real?
Yeah. I mean, one thing I've always relied on is gut and actually really listening to the music and letting the music lead and determine. I genuinely don't actually look at those numbers when it comes to me making a decision.
Yeah.
Right. I don't genuinely look at the numbers as sorts. Right. I start with the music first, and then everything else is like an addition. Music, team, and the artist. Right.
Why team before the artist?
Because I think and you could put it in either way, right? I think I just said it in an order. But I think all three of those things are probably the most important thing, right? Music, because I think that's what that's why we're here. There's nothing else that we're doing if we're not focused on making sure we get the right type of music out, right? So team is an artist can be good, but a team can make the artist great, right? The right team can make an artist great, and I think majority of people's success can be made or break by that core team of people that are working with the artist, right?
In what way?
In the sense that if a artist team don't have any kind of good relationships in the industry, how to communicate properly, how to strategize properly, how to make sound decisions properly, they can be a detriment to the artist a lot of times. And you see it when you deal with some management, some teams around the artist, and the reason why I put them, because most of the time the artist just has to show up with talent. They just have to be there and show up and make sure that everything is, and they deliver on what they've promised as an artist, right? One of a team that I'll say is, for instance, my good friends and my partners, Wale and Muiwa.
Yeah.
Right?
Leading vibes.
What they've been able to build and create with the team and then the artists, right? They built a path for artists beyond so the artist is incredibly talented. They just need to protect her.
Yeah, that's Thames.
Yes, Thames. They need to protect her and make sure that everything goes where it needs to go, and that's what their job is.
And without that layer of protection, without that layer of acumen and deftness in dealing with the music industry, that portends wrongly for the artist. You said what? It portends bad for the artist.
Sometimes, yes, it does. I think it's. I know you've dealt with some people. You've dealt with communicating. You've dealt with, to a point like you're like, man, I feel like I'm dealing with the artist, not the management team.
True.
A lot of times.
True.
Right? And also, it also affects how they do business dealing, right? Because sometimes they get the artist in depth, not knowing that this artist is not going to be able to make this money back, and they coming in and they asking for a ridiculous amount of money. And if you look at the calendar year, how much is your artist made? What business does your artist have? Like, what justification do you have to demand or ask for this? You get?
Yeah.
Right? But is a sound team that can know, okay, here's where we want to go, here's what we need, here's how we can leverage to go up.
You just raised the point that is very important in the industry. The concept of advance. The concept of advance. I came up with a time in the industry, in the Afrobeats industry, where, we've always had an advanced culture. You go to Alaba then. Alaba is this huge market in Lagos that used to be the hub for distributing Afrobeats. That was
our distribution channel.
That was all we had as distribution channel. And then an artist with prospects can show up.
That's
there.
Buzzing in the streets. Artists is buzzing in the streets.
But not even prospect, because it's buzzing artists.
It has to be buzzing, and then they'll give an advance for.
Yeah, they give you money to print CDs and distribute that for you.
Yeah.
Now we're in a point where the majors handle everything.
Yeah. For the most part.
Yeah, we might have a few other people.
Everybody's here now, so like everybody's like, there's no artist that if you sneeze on TikTok right now, you get a call.
Yeah.
So
okay. The advance, it's just money guaranteed for you to make the music that you make.
Yeah, so it depends on what kind of deal that you're doing. So for distribution, I deal mostly licensing deals, right?
Okay.
So what that means is that we licensing the music for X amount of years. And sometimes there is an advance, but that advance is not for you to put in your pocket to go, but it's advance for you to finish the project or complete the work that you're doing, right? On the record label side, sometimes the advance is for upkeep. That's what they collect a lot more from that, because they're going to probably do a 360 deal. They're going to probably take a heavier percentage depending on what deal structure that you have. But on a distribution deal, most of the advance you get is really to be towards the project, to finish the project. And most people don't understand that concept of it. A lot of times they might think that so if you get and you don't get an advance. It's rare that you really get an advance, but when you do get an advance for a project, it's usually to finish a project. Most people might think it's money for them to spend on other things.
Yeah, but it's free money.
It's not free money. It's not free money, because you tie to it, right? You tie to that, and you might not be able to release music especially if it's an exclusive deal, right? For if you do an exclusive deal for 4 years and they give you, let's say, $50K, and out of that $50K, they give you maybe $10K of it and as an advance, and you spend that $10K, you deliver a project, and for the first year, maybe let's say you made $5,000, you still on recoup $45,000. Yeah. Right? And you think that for the next 4 years, you might not be able to drop anything if that label has you an exclusive deal. Right? So you at that point, you stuck for 4 years. Yeah. Right? And you only have one EP or one project that you put out, and now you're scrambling to try to figure out how you can make it work. Right? So it's not free money. Everything is sort of like a loan of sort, and depends on how you structure your deal. You might just be stuck in a situation. So most people don't understand that, and that's why you see a lot of people kind of arguing online about somebody taking advantage of them or something. Which some deals are bad. I'm not going to say some deals are not bad, but it's you invest money into an artist in the early stages. You have rights to certain things. That's what that trade-off is.
And well, in Nigeria here, we've seen the advanced. I want to call it the advanced culture,
where people are looking for free money.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
You see an artist just randomly. This story plays out. It's a stereotypical story. To be honest, it pretty much happens all the time. An artist shows up, gets a buzzing single. A record label with financial war chest says, "Hey."
Like a local label, that is.
A local label says, "Take this amount of money, give us more music."
Yeah.
I don't think people consider that alone. They see it as reward for their brilliance.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I say your team, and that is super, super important. When you have somebody on your side that can guide you and say, hey, if we take this money, this is what we're giving up. There's always opportunity cost. There's a cost to something when there's no such thing as free money, right? Even when people dash you money, like there's something that they looking for. Yeah. Right? At the end of it is one day. Yeah. You're going to have to pay me to pay me back. So I think a lot of people don't understand that. They don't understand that it's when a local record label, when they take that, give you that investment. I mean, there's some people that actually might genuinely just like you because we are in Nigeria and there's money floating around sometimes. They might just dash you money and say, go do. Right? But most people, they're going to make you sign the paperwork. And that paperwork is what's going to determine what that trade-off is.
And as a culture, you mentioned earlier that a lot of the money that flows within the system now is money that's coming in from the outside. Yeah. And that's
majority of it. Majority of the money deals now are like most people are in distribution deals, label deals. There's rare as a time when it was Yahoo Boys and your rich uncle or some guy that just wants to put money into music. Those times is far in between now. There's not much of those in the market. There's still some people still doing it, but there's not much of those in the market.
Because institutional funding exists.
Yes, it starts to come in because those come in dollars a lot of time.
Yeah. And Afrobeats has been collecting this money for the last 8 years.
If not longer.
Yeah. This is 2025. Yeah. Let's say 9 years.
First major deals started to go out like maybe 2016,
2017.
Yeah, 2015.
Yeah.
Because I think it was David first or Wiz first, one of those that started to get the new money that was coming in.
Do you think we as a culture, Afrobeats as a culture, has been good for it?
Define good for it.
Good for it in terms of, I'll just hit it straight. Are we making back this money?
Some people are.
Okay.
Some people are. Some people are doing incredibly well. Right? I mentioned Thames earlier. She's doing incredibly well. Right? When it comes to where the the investment and what she's making, I think she's doing incredibly well. I think Burner is probably in the same bracket. I'm sure all the big five, however you want to call them, they have an incredible run, right? I think the last biggest hit that we've had was probably what was it? Calm Down Rema that hit 1 billion.
Yeah, Calm Down Rema.
Yeah, so I mean I know Tyler and Thames and just hit it now, but like I think from Afrobeats standpoint where it started, I think Rema was the one that just crossed.
Yeah, that hit the billion club.
That hit the billion club. So I think that's a good investment if you think about where the return on what he's bringing in, right? I think some people are. I don't think all the deals are. If you take an average of it, I would say on an average we probably not. But I think there's some deals, and I don't have full insights on every deal that's come in. I can tell you, this is what I can tell you, right? I can tell you that a lot of deals that I've seen and some of the deals that even we have sometimes, not all of them make the money back. I can tell you there's a majority of it that doesn't make over 10,000 a year.
No way.
Right, there's a majority of some of those deals that don't make 10,000 a year, right? And a lot of these artists don't understand the mechanics of that, right? Because if you think, right, just put this in perspective.
Yeah,
there's about 150,000 or more songs being uploaded every day.
True.
Right. Out of those 150,000, there's also the big A list, the B list that's dropping music, right? And let's look at all the platforms where you can earn money from, right? You got Spotify, Apple, AudioMac, Boomplay. I mean, yeah.
AudioMac, Pandora, Amazon,
right? Almost so you have all the DSPs, right? Now put that in perspective locally, right? How many people do you know are subscribed to these platforms?
Not a lot,
right? And then put that into now the pay rates of these platforms, or what you get is already low globally. Now, if you think about our market, right, there's not too many people with premium subscription. You understand?
Yeah.
Right? So that means that we actually even earning less, right? So from an equation standpoint, you think about you need about 9 streams in Nigeria to get 1 outside.
No way.
Right? So when you
that's sad.
Yeah, so when you start to think about those numbers, you start to think, wait, does this actually make financial sense when somebody's asking for a certain...
So one Nigerian stream average translates into 9 streams from the West. From the West.
Right. You get it, right? So when you start to think about it in that scale, you start to look at it like, wait, this thing doesn't make any sense to invest that much money into it, right? And we're still growing, right? We're still growing as an industry. And my prayer is for us to grow to a point where that we have way more value, more premium streams, and also for some of the DSPs to pay a little bit more, right? But it's still a very tough hurdle for us to get through. So the money is slow. And a lot of these deals, a lot of the offers that's coming in, they're not worth it when you think about it in that sense.
Then what's the incentive to continue investing?
Because this is one of still the epic center of culture in the world right now. If you think about what's going on in the world, this is still where everything is happening. If you just look to everything in the world right now, I think that we are at the epic center of cool. We starting the trends. We the alternative to what hip hop is known, right? Which has had a negative, like a dark light over it.
Yeah.
We the alternative to that.
True.
And it's been working. It's been working over time for and as in any emerging market, I think that our numbers we have a large number of people.
Yeah.
They're not payable all the time, but we have a large number of people. That's why social media is so strong.
True.
Like I always tell people, like, look, for what you need Nigeria for is to make enough noise to have enough enough push that enough people outside can hear you. Because when they hear you, they'll listen to you, right? Because we have that culture currency, where if you think about what the diaspora is listening to or checking for, a lot of times it's what's going on in Lagos. I was in Nairobi 2 days ago, and the conversation was about Lamborghini. And I was kind of like, wait, like,
because we recently had a lot of
but that was our conversation online here, right? But it's there, and they carrying it, and that's what they talking about. So that's how powerful our social currency is, and that's all over, and it's happening all over the world, in different places. People are paying attention to what we talking about, even as micro down to Lagos. You know what I mean? Like, people are telling you Obi's house, or they telling you about things that are going on in Lagos because they're watching it online and they're seeing it. So our social currency from a continent, or for Nigeria, is how our numbers and how we communicate in the digital space, right? So that's, to me, I think that's why it's important as an emerging market. While we still have a cultural impact that's taken on over the world. Where we dropping the ball is we not investing in the craft of really going in with our best foot, right? Especially if we manipulating some of the things that's happening, right? So, but the ones that are actually really doing the work, that are doing it, they cutting through. Burner's selling out 80,000 or 7 arenas, right? Thames is doing F1.
Yeah, Aston Martin.
Unveiling
the new car now.
That's think about that, right? Somebody that in 2018 was not even known as much, just had had 2 records.
True.
That was going to be doing that on a global scale. That's impact, right?
Yeah, I get that. But does that cultural impact, that cannot be measured? It doesn't show up on the spreadsheet.
It doesn't show up on the spreadsheet. But that's, I mean, a lot of things don't show up on the spreadsheet when you're in a developing market. So the hope is for a lot of these, or for a lot of labels, that we don't want to miss the opportunity, or they don't want to miss the opportunity of sort, right? And that's why I think a deal like Finesse will happen.
Yeah.
Right? Because it happened off the heels of multiple artists hitting certain, like, oh, we don't want to miss this, so we're going to invest. But I think that's slowing down a little bit, like I said, right now, because, again, because of what's going on, we haven't had a major hit, a new hit.
Yeah, we haven't. That has always set my alarm bells ringing. I've been screaming this for the last 2 years.
Yeah, I've been watching your...
Up until the part where I'm considered the pariah.
Yeah.
Where people are saying, oh my God, you're pointing out the obvious.
Yeah.
But it's the obvious.
Yeah.
Afrobeats as a culture attracted funding because we could, to a certain, we're producing those records and we could guarantee global uptake.
Yeah.
And for the last 2 years, this is 2025, for the last 2 years, we haven't really seen that channel produce a lot more.
Yeah.
Did we sell a dream?
Well, that's it. And that's a difficult one to say, because some people sold a dream.
Yeah.
And some people hustled their way and got their checks and did what they need to do. But so I'm a true believer that we have an abundance of talent in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Right? Across Africa, beyond just Nigeria. Because I meet some incredible artists. And when I meet them, I'm like, God, like God didn't make no mistakes about this. Like, there's some incredible talent. I mean, there's one that we're working with now called Braille, that when I think about it, and I just think about how dedicated this person is to making music every day, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. in the morning. He's practicing, he's going through it. Like, he's not making any money from doing it, but he's dedicated to it. I believe that's real. That's not a lie. That's a real talented person. And it's only a matter of time that truth crushed to the ground will rise, right? But I think what's sad is when people cheat the system. When they cheat the system and they get all the way there, and they can't back it up. They can't back it up because other artists have to suffer for that because they might not get a chance because somebody else has gone in to f it up or to mess it up. Sorry.
We're at a space where we've been spoiled for so long. Mm-hmm. We've kept the train going for so long, and now hard questions are beginning to be asked of us. How do we answer those questions? How do we chart the path where, because the original idea for Afrobeats to the world, and why I think a lot of the boots that were played, came on the ground here, was because it's like we took, as a culture, and this is me, my finance head going up and down, we took a loan, and our collateral was a lot more people can come through, and a lot more people want to hear our music.
Yeah.
And not producing a global hit for 2 years calls that into question. Yeah. It does. And I'm here thinking, how can we go back to that time? How can we unlock what we had when we were creating those records and when we were having the motion that we had on that level?
Yeah. I mean, I think the short answer is we need to get back to creating music at a high level.
Yeah.
And not say music at a high level, because even back then music wasn't at a high level, but we was being true. It wasn't about, if I put this out by tomorrow, it's going to be on the top 10.
Yeah.
But I'm going to put this out. I'm going to get it to the clubs. I'm going to see what the people like. And when the people like it, we know it's going to go into these places, right? And that's how if we go back to Alaba market, is you have to be hot. If your record wasn't hot, you're not getting that deal, right? Because people were really genuinely listening to that, and we was fans of the music.
True.
Right. I think we've lost the true fandom of music a little bit. I don't know if you can feel that.
I agree.
Yeah, we've lost the fandom of like just true people really coming in and actually being fans of music, because again, we competing with false pretense a lot of times, right? And so almost like people don't even care anymore. They just going on about their day. But I think that we need to get back to making sure like people feel something with the music, right? Like we need to get to that point again.
And how about the issue of numbers? We have too many people that we can put through the system that aren't going through the system, the official systems that we can have. When you look at it, everyone says there's a gap in the market. Yeah. 200 million people, over 50% of them are young people.
Yeah. 70, I think like 70%.
70%.
We have the youngest. We're the youngest continent first.
Yeah.
And our market, I think, less than, more than 75% of our population is under 25.
Imagine. So under 25. I study other cultures that have broken through the system and broken through the mold and have sustained it.
Yeah.
I look at the Latino guys. Mm-hmm. They've done it. Yeah. The K-pop guys have done it. They've done it to the point where they are competing actually with the legacy artists, legacy American artists. Yeah. We've seen them, the global north, they've dominated. We've seen them do wonders in the global south as K-pop artists. But what those people have is that, especially the Latinos and the Koreans, what they have is they come to the table with numbers.
Yeah, and paying numbers too, right? Because if you think about the Latin market, they've made blocks of Latin music, right? So you have the U.S. block, which is all the Latinos, Spanish-speaking people in the U.S. essentially make up one block. Then you have from Colombia, Central America, those regions that one block. You have the Argentinas, you have Spain, you have another, but they have combined that block, and that just makes a strong number. One of the artists that we distribute his music is Bad Bunny, and I've been amazed by the numbers.
Okay, you guys distribute Bad Bunny.
We distribute Bad Bunny's music, beautiful. And I was looking at the numbers, and he dropped a project January 5th, and I looked at his number like January 15th, and he was about 1.8 billion streams in under 10 days. I was amazed at that. Right, in the next week, he was number one in France, a French-speaking country. He was a number one album in that place. But he's had a cultural impact, and the album is literally a homage to Puerto Rico. If you go to listen to that project, he's paying homage to Puerto Rico. That's literally the project, and he did a residency or something that he in Puerto Rico for 20-something days. It sold out on 24 hours. Right? He's figured out how to make a cultural impact with what he's doing. They move as a block. They made enough impact. He's arguably the biggest. The biggest artist in the world, if you think about it, even bigger than Drake.
Yeah, 2020, I think 2023 ending. He was the most streamed.
Yeah,
2023 going to 2024.
Yeah, and he's still relatively independent.
Yeah,
there's no major besides distribution. There's nobody really backing him. Right, that's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah,
right. But we was talking about the Latin block, and I think that's to the success of that, and I think we as an English-speaking African country can do that because there's a lot of us in diaspora all over, right? From Brazil to the Caribbean to the U.S. to the U.K., all over the world, right? We can get those blocks together, and we can actually do that. But it starts with the music. You can't. There's no Latin art, no Latin person that can listen to Bad Bunny's project and say that, like, this is horrible.
True. Yeah, you don't get a lot of that,
right? And maybe there are patenting numbers as well. I don't know. I don't know if he's doing it on that side, but I can tell you that I listened to it. I don't even understand what it's saying because I was wondering what was.
Yeah, why it has such an effect.
Why does it have such an effect, right? And then I did a little bit more research and try to understand the story that he was telling. Like, oh, this is super, super intentional. Everything was intentional about the project, from the cover art to the rollout to even him doing the residency. And I think we need to get back to that core of actually making music at that high level.
But I came up in an industry where we had artists that could go for 34 years on singles. Yeah, we were a single market for a while. Yeah. Afrobeats to the World happened. All of the contracts came in and mandated albums. Yeah. Now we are running and we don't have an album market. We have an album mandate market. That's how I see it. Because everyone.
I don't think we have an album mandated market. I think we have a constant need to stay relevant and stay on top, right? And it's the we must drop. Like 3 months, they'll forget 3 months, so they constantly dropping, and a lot of times they're not taking the time to make good music. They just dropping. They dropping because part of the algorithms that helps streaming of sort is you constantly keep dropping, even if they're not listening to the whole thing, you're still picking up numbers.
Yeah.
So some people use that strategy where they constantly keep dropping, right? But I don't think music should be consumed like that.
Yeah.
And this is not a law. This is my own personal opinion. I think artists need time to live and experience to be able to tell their story. because I think at best an artist's truest position is to tell stories.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
Right. And across the board, and I think from Shady Vibes to the top of the top, or however way you want to where to put it, it's all about storytelling. Right.
Yeah.
And that's what connects. That's what makes us connect. That's what makes us feel something. Is that story that's being told.
Sure. And to tell real stories, you have to have a level of experience.
Yeah, you have to have you have to live through certain things, right? So I think that takes time for you to reflect the thought and then be able to come back and say, okay, let me pen this down and really make this special.
And in your position as director of West Africa Orchard.
Yeah. I like how you keep putting that.
Yeah. Of course. It's just beside your name.
Yeah.
Or underneath your name. It underlines your name.
Yeah.
And in your position, what do you think, how do you honor this industry in your position? How do you, the things you want to see, the things that are ideal, how do you live it in the space?
Man, I mean, I think that's one of the things that I try to wake up every day and try to answer in real time. I think, so with me, when I do it, when I'm working with an artist, I tell them a few things. I say, look, in doing this deal, I'm not doing this deal based on money, right? I'm doing this deal because, one, we like the music, right? That's why we here. But most importantly, I want to make sure that we like each other. And we have to have a sort of a relationship for us to be able to really build something that's strong, because I'm going to put my all into making sure that we get this right. And I want to make sure that on the other side, you're going to do the same thing, right? So for me, the way I honor the industry is really putting my best in everything that I do with the artists and making sure that I don't sell us short. When I say us, I'm talking about other Africans, Nigerians, and that I don't sell us short, right? When I get into this deal, I'm going to tell you, okay, here's the deal structure, how's it is. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be as transparent with you, right?
Yeah.
On the deal, so that way you know what you're getting into. We know what we're getting into is an agreement that we both getting into. So, and we understand that, right? And I try not to hide anything from anybody. You get, let's just be real and do it and be fair. That's the only way I can do it, right? And that's what I've done from Trace to now, is just try to do it with integrity. And that's the only way I feel like I can honor the industry.
Yeah, I understand you. One of the things that one of the reasons why we're cool with each other, like we connect on integrity heavily.
Yeah, 100%.
On integrity heavily, especially in a space where it's sorely lacking.
Yeah, I think more importantly, I think that as a nation, there's a decay in moral capacity. There's a decay, if you think about it. Right, and to go back to the Lambo conversation just a little bit on that, the idea of we don't think about, and across the board, I'm not just saying for women, or I'm saying across the board, we don't even think about what a person has done to earn what they've done.
Sure.
The only thing we look at is the end results. There's no way in the world that is the case a lot of times.
Yeah.
Right? You look at the end result. Somebody comes in and says they have a Lamborghini. Okay, what did you do to get it? What work? That's almost a $400,000 car. Yeah. What work in this Nigeria have you done
to earn
$400,000? Right?
Sure.
Has anybody stopped and say, like, Some people don't make that in a lifetime.
True.
Right? And then when you get there and you start to think that it's that easy for these things to happen, again, morality starts to decay little by little, right? And I think, and I'm not saying that's a woman thing, right? I think across the board, because there's some people that will pull up in certain places, and you're still wondering, how would you buy 40 bottles of champagne, right? That costs what 1 M each or whatever it is cost in the club. And majority of the time, do you really drink that much? And what did you take to make that money, right? And I think that one of my golden rules: respect a man's work or person's work before you respect the person's money. And I think that should be the golden rule for everybody. Like, we just don't respect money, because that's a tradable thing. It's like, what have you done? Sure. What have you contributed to get this done? Not. You understand?
Yeah, and extrapolating that into the industry and into the music business.
Yeah.
As it's done here, it's very, what does that look like?
Like for artists?
Yeah, when you extrapolate that into the music business.
Yeah, it's same thing. It's like, again, what have you done, right? People can look at Burna and say, oh, he's, and I hate to keep using Burna as an example in this situation, but there was a show that he did. I think he collected $1 million a show for the show. Yeah. But nobody will remember that from 2012 or 2013, he's been working and has been building and getting better and better and better, right?
And you can track it.
And you can track it. And you can track it for everybody. You can track it for David too, right? He's worked. He's put, like, David can perform 2 hours of hits.
True. Yeah.
Right? So you can, no matter what anybody says he comes from or whatever, you cannot take that away from him.
True.
Right? So you always have to respect that, regardless of whatever it is. Right? But a lot of people don't, and I think, and especially in this social media era, people think it's easy. People think this music thing is actually easy also. And when you start to couple it up with the manipulation of everything, this psychology starts to become, oh, we can do this, we can make this happen, right? Yeah. And again, it's going back to the thing, we're not respecting the order of how the rules of money a lot of time.
And when you joined the music industry, I mean, when you did the switch from Trace to Sony, what was your aim then? And now that you're wet behind the ears, you're way too wet behind the ears. Now that you're wet behind the ears, how has that altered your initial perception of the space, and going forward, how it has influenced how you now do business?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing I'll say is that when I first went to the Orchard, one of the things is I really wanted to work with artists. Like, I'm a lifelong artist friendly or artist first thinker. Like, I always think about supporting artists. And I think I'm a lifelong server for the creative industry. Yeah. Right. And I always wanted to just help artists and help creatives kind of become
self-actualize.
Yeah, self-actualize. But now, the biggest thing for me is I really just genuinely want to help good people. Right. That's like my true passion, because
you found this subset.
Yeah, because none of these artists, a lot of these people are good people.
True.
Right? So for me, it's I just want to help good people. And that's not to say that I don't understand what space I'm in. And sometimes music, you tend to also do work with bad people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's a space, it's a magnet for bad people.
Yes, there's a bunch of craziness going on here. But what drives my own passion is good people. I want to see them win.
Okay. I've never had that said before. I want to see good, especially within the context of the music industry. People want to make money.
Yeah, I mean, of course we want to. I mean, of course we want to make. But I think money is one thing that a lot of times people trade their character for money, right? But if you think about it, it's an infinite number.
True.
You think it's an infinite number.
True.
You're constantly going to be.
You can't get all the money.
You can't get all the money in the world. You can get enough money, and you can get enough money to build a house, but you're probably still going to want more, right?
Yeah.
All these people, they buy 20 cars, and they're going to probably buy another one.
True.
Soon, right? So it's an infinite thing. And at a point, you have to have a purpose. So when I was talking about my purpose, is just that's not saying I want to be broke. Of course, I'm gonna make sure I work enough to get the things that I want out of life, right? But money's not the motivator, right? Money is the gift that you're given for once you've reached the point, right? That's something that's a reward of sort. But that's not why you're there, right? And even to make music, I don't think that music is one of those things that is a tool. If you think about it, like how powerful it is, is a tool to make people feel something, to connect, is to really help some people heal.
True.
Like some people listen to some records and it helps them.
Yeah, improves the quality of their existence.
Yeah. And I think it's super, super important.
To not lose that spark.
Not to lose that spark. And I'm not saying everything has to be serious, because I enjoy, sometimes I just want to be, I want to be in the club, and whatever record that we listening to there, there's a feel that you get from listening to that. And you get it, right?
Yeah.
But that's, again, is go that with intent. Do that with intention. Even if you're gonna do it with intention.
Sure. And just before we go, are you still bullish on the Afrobeats to the world promise?
Okay, I won't say Afrobeats to the world.
Nigerian music.
I'm saying African music, and so I'm bullish on African artists to the world. I think that we are going to start to define African artists more genre specific. We're going to start to get artists truly step outside of being boxed into, they have to make it through Afro-pop, they're going to just do what they want to do and how they want to do it, and I think it's going to cut through eventually. I think we're going to hit a small decline. But what's going to come after that?
This isn't the decline?
I think we going through it a little bit, but I think it might go a little bit deeper,
okay.
Right? But I think what's going to come out of that is going to be stronger, right? Because one thing I do know, that we're very resilient people. Like, Nigerians are probably the most resilient people that I've ever met in this world.
Sure.
If you think about all the shit that we go through in the world. So I don't think that you can count or say, oh, Afrobeats to the world is over, right?
Yeah.
I think it's going to go down, but then there's going to be a new era, new energy, new things. I think there's some kids that I'm listening to now, like, man, they're going to be special. Victoni, I think Victoni is going to be special. I think Rema is going to be special. I think there's a lot of people that I'm listening to that I say, oh, man, they come in and they're going to do something amazing. They're gonna shift the narrative of how we look at Africans and how we look at Nigerians, how we listen to music, how we think about this music thing. And I think they're pushing the envelope to be better. We're going to see a lot more of that. And we're going to find more individual artists that might be a jazz artist. It might not even be Afro. It might be a complete jazz artist. It might be a gospel. It might be something different that we see that shifts the narrative for what we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I follow the data.
Yeah. So what are you optimistic?
Am I optimistic? I used to be.
Mm-hmm. Then so what is it now?
What is it now? Now I used to think the promise of Afrobeats to the world was we will get to a point where we're so plugged in, and we're so plugged in to the point where a kid in, let me call it slum here, in Mushin, for example, can drop a record and hit the billboard from Mushin.
That's still possible.
It used to be.
It's much harder to cut through, but it's still possible if that kid is genuinely, intentionally focused on his craft and to get there, right? I think it's still possible, right? If you think about it.
Yeah, but it's hard to be optimistic here.
Yeah, I think what's hard is I think that there's a lot of phonies.
Yeah.
That are in space. When I say phonies, not that they're not talented or anything like that, but the manipulation and the trickery and how we've been fooled is much, right? And it's making it difficult to cut through, right? It's making it difficult to see the Buju commander on the boats in what was it? Where was he at? I forgot the.
Yeah, it was in the canoe.
Canoe. Where was that place? Makoko.
Makoko, yeah. It was pulling out from Makoko.
Yeah, right. But you can hear his gift then, right? There's still kids like that out there. There's still people that are going to cut through that we just need to make sure that we don't sell them short, because then they just have to keep working and don't get there and just think, oh, if this guy does this, it's going to go. Don't worry, I just need to, you know what I mean? You have to keep working, and we just need to keep telling stories and making sure we keep the intentions real. Because we still have hardship. We still have a bunch of stuff going on. And ideally, an artist's truest form is to represent what society is today, to be the mirror to what society is today. Right? As long as we have what's going on and everything, we need artists to reflect that.
Okay, I want to believe you, and I think we'll wrap that up. It's hard to hold on to optimism, seeing what's happening.
Yeah.
But I think this is a good point to put the pin in.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Thank you. This was not easy, but I'm grateful that you did this.
Always love.
All right. Thank you, Lanre.